Hey guys, welcome to another tutorial. Today we're going to have a look at how to create a basic scene in Blender with free Megascans assets. So the first thing you need to do is install Quixel Bridge. For now the newest version of Blender is not supported, so to get it to work in the newest version, please check out the description. Alright, so I already downloaded these assets. We're going to start out with exporting them. You need to set the export options to target Blender, and I'm going to use 2K and then just hit export. Next up, we're going to get a broken tree stump. And a rock. Then we switch over to Blender. As you can see, they all loaded up over here. Right, next thing we're going to do is create a grid. It's going to be 20 meters with 100 subdivisions. We'll move it over here. Next thing we're going to do is place a camera. Over here you can set it to lock to the camera view. And we're just going to place it somewhere here. Next thing we're going to do is scale this thing a little bit up, because it's a small asset, but it holds up even when it's a little bit bigger. So we'll just place it somewhere like this, just to get a nice little composition. Alright, so our composition is going to be something like this. Next thing we're going to do is go over to sculpt mode. And yeah, just start drawing a bunch of little mountains, basically. I like this clay brush. That's a little too high. Yeah, just draw a couple of little mountains like this. Alright. So this could be our composition. Let's load an environment texture. And load up our HDRI. In this case, I'm using a HDRI from HDRI Haven. Switch over to cycles, GPU. can create a mapping node and a texture coordinate. In this way we can adjust our HDRI. Like this. In eView we can see a quick update of our position in the sky. So think something like this. Okay, next we're going to go over to surfaces and then ground. We'll use this one. Then you can select this. Let's do a render. Over here you can set the scale, so we're going to use 0.2. Right, and now we're going to go over to our geometry node editor, and we're just going to create a new plane. We'll call it grass. And then geo nodes, just so we know we're going to create our geo nodes in here. Remove this. We're going to object info. We're going to pick our floor. Now we imported the floor. Point distribute. Then align. Gonna do this to normal. Attribute randomize. We're gonna randomize the scale from 0.4 to 1. Next up, we're gonna create a point instance and select our grass geo. We'll create a new collection and drop all the different grass objects in there. We can actually get rid of this null object. And we're gonna apply the scale. Because if you don't do that, you will get way too big geometry inside of your scatter node. Okay, we're gonna select the first geo. Actually, I need to set this to relative. Let's do a quick render. Alright, that seems to work. Let's adjust the scale again. Let's actually do this. Copy as new driver and paste driver. In this way we can always make a uniform scale adjustment. Okay, back to our geometry node editor. Let's copy all of this. We put this here, put that there. Actually, we need a join geometry. Like this. And all we need to do is adjust our instance to the next one and our seed so it will scatter on a different position. Okay, we'll do that again. Let's organize this. Another thing which we can do is adjust the rotation. We'll create an attribute randomize. And you can rotate it like this. If you set it to add, it will keep the original rotation and just add this single value to it. Alright, let's copy it to the rest of them. Okay, we're almost done. Just two more. Let's move this over. Last one. And we have to adjust the seed once again. Let's do a test render. Alright, looks pretty good. Next up, we're going to add some rocks. So we'll copy this over once again. And we'll create a separate ad just to make it a bit more organized. Like this. We'll move this over. Okay, try to create a backdrop. Forgot the name of this frame. And another one. So this will be our rock, which we imported earlier. As you can see, it's way too big. It's because we didn't apply the scale. There you go. Now the amount is way too big, so let's turn that down. Also scale it down a bit. Alright, let's create another attribute randomize. Oh fuck. Oh shit, I adjusted this. Let's delete that actually. So we'll change it to vector and add. And then position. Then adjust all the values to 0 except this one. This is the height. So we want to slightly submerge them. Can do that by adjusting these two values. And that's it. Let's change the camera to see what looks better. And let's set the depth of field. Alright, looks pretty good to me. Let's do a couple of adjustments here. Maybe a little bit more grass. Lastly, let's play around a bit with the lighting. Yeah, this is basically adjusting it to your own liking. So I'm trying to create some interesting shadows here to get a highlight on top of to get a highlight on the actual branch. What I ended up doing is just creating one area light close to the branch to give it a little extra highlight. And this is our final render. Thanks for watching.